Our next guest is one of the biggest rappers in the game, and he's rhyming about the Lord. Good Lord. You like that?
Yeah.
Right? Good Lord.
That's right.
Yeah.
His new album, Neverland, debuted at #2 on the hip-hop charts and bringing tons of swag to Christianity. Andy Mineo, welcome to Arise 360.
How are we?
How are you?
No, Mineo or Mineo?
Mineo.
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 Yeah.
All right, we got it.
Right.
Oh, when I think of hip-hop,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think of the Bible. Talk to us about how. Why are you laughing? Do you think of the Bible when you think of hip-hop?
Lord, no.
Lord, oh. Anyway, so tell us how you started rapping about Christianity.
Yeah, I didn't start rapping about Christianity.
Okay.
What happened is I became a Christian. And so, you know, I think a lot of times I get boxed in as the quote-unquote Christian rapper, and the, all the cliches come along with that.
Okay.
But in reality, man, I'm a Christian and I'm a hip-hop artist. And so my Christian faith is authentic. And so it seeps its way into every aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a Sunday, thing. It's kind of, it works its way into my life for real. So,
Do you like the term Christian rapper?
I don't. I wouldn't give myself that term at all because, I don't know, are one of y'all maybe Christians or?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't get called a Christian talk show host. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true. That's a good point.
In the
Valid point. I like that.
So in the same way, I'm a hip hop artist and I'm a Christian.
Right.
I think it's just that talking point because the culture of hip hop, you don't necessarily think, authentic Christianity. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the talking point that people bring up. But I am a Christian and it seeps its way into everything I do, including my music.
So now, do verses from the Bible go into your lines, into your lyrics?
I'm not a cliche, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be like, yo, John 5.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't happen. What happens is, my authentic Christian faith works its way into my life and it comes out through my real experiences. So you'll hear songs like Bitter off of my album Heroes for Sale, and it's talking about how I have bitterness in my heart towards my father, you know what I'm saying? And the situations that we went through, and how my understanding of what I've learned through stuff like the Bible has given me grace to forgive him. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm sitting here trying to point a finger at somebody and be like, read the Bible, do this. I'm saying, I'm looking at my own life and examining it and seeing how the scripture, how my faith influences all of that stuff.
Now, your new album debuted at #2 on the hip-hop charts. It sold 25,000 units in its first week on
Congratulations.
iTunes. Yeah, that's major.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
Why do you think it's resonated with fans in such a major way?
I think hip hop is really hungry right now for something new, something positive. Not only is the music and the message positive, and it has ability to reach a vast audience. I like to say it reaches the dude on the block and it reaches the mom with 5 kids in the minivan. You know what I'm saying? It's just good music. On top of that, I think it's top quality music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you check out the production, the rhyme schemes, I'm a true artist, you know what I'm saying? In the truest sense, I love my craft and I put everything into it. So I think one, it's just excellent music, and on top of that, it's a message that a lot of people are hungry for.
Now, I wouldn't say many are popular Christian rappers or Christians. Who influenced you? Who like your heroes in rap that you kind of emulated?
Well, when I fell in love with hip hop, there were no Christian rappers that I knew of. You know what I'm saying? So I just fell in love with hip hop.
Who'd you grow up listening to?
Hip hop artists.
Here we go.
Yeah, I listened to everybody, man. I listened to Snoop. I was listening to Eminem. I was listening to Dre. name it.
Any West Coast?
Nas,
Any East
Biggie.
Coast? Thank you.
Yeah, Nas, all that. So everybody I was listening to growing up. And they were, that's where I learned a lot of my values about life, how to treat women, what I thought about money, what I thought about manhood. And a lot of those things I found out later were very skewed views, and they still are in the hip hop culture. But that's what I'm here to do, is to offer something different in hip hop. And but I grew up listening to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of that is like money, clothes, and hoes, like Biggie said.
Sure.
So that's what you were listening to. Excuse me, I listen to rap music.
You're impressing me every day, you know this.
Yeah, I grew up listening to the same music. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, why did
you how did you move from rhyming about that? Like, did you have an epiphany? Was there a moment when you said to yourself, I don't want to rhyme about what Biggie and them are necessarily rhyming about, or I want to do it in a different way?
Yeah, well, really, it didn't start with the music being the goal. My life transformation really happened.
So the music was a reflection of
Exactly.
your personal
So it's not like
transformation.
how could I plot to make money and make it in hip hop?
True artist.
I was growing as a person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the same way when you watch guys like Mos Def, you know what I'm saying? They go through different things in their spiritual journey and their life walk, and then their music starts to reflect that.
That's
So
true.
that's what happened with me as I became a Christian. You know, I found out Jesus died for my sin and I wanted to follow him.
Right.
And you know, that started to change everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm capping it for interview's sake, but you know, my life really changed. And so then my music started to change in response to that. There was also guys who came before me who did it,
Right.
who were also influencers later on in life. I found out guys like Cross Movement and Lecrae, you know, other artists who were authentic about their faith and authentic about their hip hop and their craft.
Right.
So, yeah, big shout out to all the dudes who came before me doing their thing, and you know.
Now, you named your album Neverland. Why not Garden of Eden? Ha! Anyway, how did you come up with that name, Neverland?
One, because I wouldn't want to be a cliche. Two, two, because Neverland is it's the idea. It's kind of double.
Okay.
I always like to pull from things that reflect from my childhood.
Okay.
And so Neverland was the place where Peter Pan went. And so,
This brother's deep.
yeah.
All right.
Hook was like my favorite movie growing up.
Right.
And the way that Peter Pan got to Neverland, he would fly there. And the way he got there is he would think happy thoughts, and he had this kind of childlike faith in order to
Right.
get there. And so in the same way, I think that that's what our life is about, is like having that, for me, it's having childlike faith in God, trust and dependency on him. And in the same way, we'll make it to Neverland. In addition to that, it's the concept that like I want to elevate people's thinking. I want to elevate people's lifestyles
Right.
and get so high up that they'll never land, in a sense.
Okay.
Right,
So,
right.
So it's a double entendre.
yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So, you know, I want to ascend, man. I want us to grow as people and love each other. So,
You mentioned learning having to forgive your father, and I read that you also had a troubled childhood. Talk to us about what your childhood was like,
Yeah.
and how did it influence the person you are today?
yeah, I grew up in a single-parent home. My dad wasn't present in the home, but I had an incredible mom who raised me. And I was just a really aggressive kid, so I got kicked out of school for putting kids in trash cans and yelling at teachers.
You were a bully?
I was bad.
Oh no!
And so I got kicked out of middle school, and I went to correctional facilities pretty much for a couple years. And in that last year, between 7th and 8th grade, is when I became a Christian. And that's kind of when everything started shifting in my life.
Your
know.
sister took you to
Yeah.
a summer camp.
My sister took me to a camp where she was working, and there were some Christian men there that started to just love on me. They just started telling me about God. The reason I came is because they told me there was a zip line and girls there. So I'm like, all right, I'm
That'll
out.
get me there.
You know, I'm like, let's
You know
go.
what? That'll work.
But you know, God had other plans there, man, and God really changed my life there. That's when I heard the gospel, the good news about Jesus, and that rocked my life. And I knew it had because I came home having love in my heart for people that I'd hated my whole
Right.
life. You know what I mean? I started to understand that I was undeservedly loved, and so that started to shift my perspective on everything else. And so, yeah, that's where that happened. And then I went off to high school and college. I really grew on my faith and my craft even
All right.
more.
I'm a fan of artists, and especially rappers.
Yeah.
Now, would you be upset if I asked you, can give me a little something? Give me, spit
Oh,
out.
of course. I'll give you something.
yeah.
Okay,
All right, go ahead.
I'll give you something from the title song, Neverland.
let's do it.
Everybody wanna be on top. I don't think they know what that means. Once you get there, then you can't stop. Everybody gunning for your spot, aiming at your team. I'm up all night, chasing dreams. Everything changed when they go from seeing it on big screen to behind the scenes. They leading us on like it's the life they lead, huh? You know the rich and famous kill they self to stay rich and famous. For the same thing that they built their name with, be the same thing that they be enslaved with. So I don't want rap, you can have that. I don't want the crown, you don't aiming past that. Had to rip another throne, can't have that. There's a kingdom where my dad's at, and I'm his son. My sin gone, so death won't have that last laugh. I'm a child of the king, royalty, that's ASCAP. They want glory, money, and power before you go. Well, I promise you it's empty. We aiming just way too low. I know we own things we don't need to impress people. We don't know that we go broke trying to look rich. Well, I can't do it. I just want my new goal is to be close to the one that made my soul, man. Them other highs gonna let you down. I'm trying to get so high I'll never land. I am Rufio with the ripped jeans, Cool Mo with the 16s. In the studio, I'm Michelangelo with a microphone writing 16s. But these songs ain't for the chapel. Try to build with others, your own attack you. Try to be a light and they blowing the match you lit. Can't use a shotgun to catch a fish, I'm on. Using a different tactic, come with your boom bap. Just look at this rap cat with glasses cooking the track. And every time I look at my past, I laugh like, you know where I should have been at? Nowadays, I just want to make it classic. Trying to set the bar way above the average, then smash that for the glory of God and do rappers like Apple, even without jobs. Sitting on the writer's block, penning everything that I've been in and out of ever since the album drop. Things change, get the feeling they won't stop. I don't want to grow up, never land, got no clocks, but let me give them balls and no shots to catch up. I got a message about a blessing, but it's written in cursive. You're gonna face death, I know the one to reverse it. Listen.
What'd you say?
Well, shut it down.
Man.
Jobs like Apple.
Yeah, you're good. You're
Wow.
good. You're good. All right, you pass.
Bless you.
You pass.
Woo.
That was
That was fire.
that was
fire.
Yeah, I'm
that
impressed.
Was fire. Hot.
How's hot?
Kind
How's
of
hot?
just scorched the desk.
Yeah, you did.
Scorched it.
You did. You did.
Appreciate
How's hot?
that.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, nothing more to say.
I know exactly.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Come back anytime.
For sure.
Wow.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.
Wow.
Just murder.